Coming up on The Last Call, the Auburn baseball team had a chance to make history this weekend. We'll show you if the Tigers can make it back to the College World Series for the first time since 1997. Plus, the MLB draft went down this week. We'll break down which local players were taken, and you're going to hear from Shea Langoliers, who the Braves snagged with the number 9 overall pick. It's all on The Last Call, and it starts right now. All right, welcome back to The Last Call. I'm your host, Justin Holbrook. Auburn is a football school. Not anymore after the basketball team went all the way to the Final Four, and now they might just be a baseball school too after winning the Atlanta Regional, leaving them 2 wins away from the College World Series. For more, let's run it back. Auburn versus North Carolina in the Sweet 16. Sound familiar? The Tigers basketball team did so in March. Baseball team hoping to do so as well. That's because the Tigers beat the number 3 overall seed Georgia Tech last weekend to win the Atlanta Regional. The Tigers, like the Tar Heels, swept their way through the regional play to give Auburn its 2nd straight Super Regional appearance. Last year's Sweet 16 run ended in heartbreak on a walk-off extra inning home run that bounced off the glove of Steven Williams. This time around, Williams has been the hero. He was named the Atlanta Regional MVP after hitting 10 RBIs in 3 games, including a 3-run walk-off home run over Georgia Tech. They've also gotten plenty of production from all SEC freshmen and Troup County's own Ryan Bliss.
After 60-plus games, Coach actually said, you're no longer a freshman. You're now just a ball player, and you got to go out there and play like it. And, I feel like I've had enough experience this year just to go out there and trust what I've been doing, trust my teammates, trust my coaches, what they taught me to just play the best of my ability. So we're just trying to make the best out of it right now.
That one kind of stung a little bit, but I think the guys last year could tell you that, I learned from it, and I haven't really let it define me or anything, and I moved on from it, and so I think it's made me a better player.
Something really came together, and honestly, at Georgia Tech in the region was our best 3 games probably of the entire season. I'm just thankful we got 18 guys on our ball club that had been in Gainesville last year, so they knew if we had an opportunity to get in the tournament that, man, you're only 4 teams away from having a chance to play for Omaha, and now we're only 1 team away from that same opportunity where they got there last year. So, another great opportunity to do something special.
Last year, Auburn dropped their first game against Florida, continuing a trend in which the Tigers have never won Game 1 of the Super Regionals. But they could change all that yesterday against the Tar Heels. Not a good start for the Tigers. As you can see, already down 3-0. Tyler Baum, drafted in the 2nd round by Oakland, strikes out Will Holland to end the 4th. 12 outs and 6 of them strikeouts. Top of the 5th, Auburn still down 3-0. Steven Williams, who I mentioned, won the Atlanta Regional MVP. Does it again. The sophomore pulls Auburn within 1 with this 2-run shot to right. North Carolina would add 2 more, but so do the Tigers on a Connor Davis double and a wild pitch. So now it's 5-4. Bases loaded for the CVC standout, Rankin Woolley, and he promptly unloads them. Almost clears the fence, but it's good enough to score 3 and give Auburn its first lead of the game, 7-5. They trailed by 3 at 2 different points, and now they have their first lead. We move to the top of the 9th. 2 outs. Runners on 2nd and 3rd for the Canadian Edouard Julien. And this ball is not coming back. 3-run moonshot gives Auburn an 11-5 lead, and they go on to win 11-7 and are now 1 win away from a trip to Omaha.
We've been through this before, and I thought a little experience just helped us get to the finish line today, but let's just know that we need to stay focused on how good our opponent is here. Great crowd. We could feel them. We could even hear our folks that come a long way, but a great home crowd that we've got to come out here and keep playing good baseball to have a chance.
The biggest thing for us is just not panicking. We believe we can hang in until every game. We could be down 5 or 6 runs in the 9th and still think, we're right there. We're a hit or 2 away. So I just think not panicking and staying focused is our biggest thing to our success right now.
And just like last year, Auburn 1 win away from Omaha. So another win over North Carolina would put Auburn there for the first time since '97. Bailey Horn gets the start in a bad spot early. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. And just like yesterday, the Tar Heels jump out to an early lead. 2 RBI single for Ike Freeman, 2-0 UNC. But Auburn has a chance early too. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Rankin Woolley. Can he do it again? No. Austin Bergner gets the strikeout. Bailey Horn did not pitch long, only went 3 1/3, but gets a strikeout to end the top of the 3rd. Ryan Watson Jr. from Auburn came in for Horn and got the job done. Strikeout with runners on the corners ends the top half of the 5th. Auburn's pitching was great after the first, but the Austins from North Carolina were just a tad better. Bergner pitched 4 1/3 of scoreless baseball, while Austin Love retired 13 of the 15 batters he faced, giving the Tar Heels the 2-0 shutout win. Here's Butch Thompson on who might pitch tomorrow.
I think Fitz and Fuller are a couple of guys that are an option. Fitz for sure. He threw 6 innings, I think, in the regional last week. I would imagine Greenhill, down to potentially your last day of the year. I think he'll give us everything he's got, and I think Tanner will be available. So that's 4 guys right there.
Game 3 is tomorrow at 1 Eastern on ESPN2. Back in Columbus, the 2019 high school baseball all-star game between Alabama and Georgia went down at CSU's Ragsdale Field on Wednesday. Bottom of the first, runners on the corners for Hardaway's Peyton McElmore drops it in a short right. That scores Columbus's Colby Brabston 1-0 Team Georgia. Team Alabama now has runners on the corner. Colin Harris from Beauregard shoots it back up the middle to score Glenwood's Bryce Valero, and this one's tied 1-1. Bottom of the second we go. Georgia has the bases loaded. Jeremiah Burgess from Brookstone singled in the first and draws a walk here to score Spencer Chandler from state champ Northside. It's 2-1 Team Georgia. Top of the fourth, still 2-1. That's until now. Runners on second and third for Central's Braden Pelkey, who smacks this one to the gap in right center. Opelika's Micah Christian scores, and so does Valero once again as Alabama takes a 3-2 lead. They score 10 more and win 13-5. All right, still to come on the last call. We'll break down everything you need to know about the 2019 MLB Draft, and we'll tell you what you need to know, too, about Shea Langeliers, the guy taken number 9 overall by the Atlanta Braves. When it comes to the MLB Draft, the Braves have been killing it. From Ronald Acuna to Ozzie Albies to Austin Riley, Atlanta's core is made up of players who are barely old enough to drink. And this week, the Braves hope to continue their success in the draft. With the 9th overall pick, Atlanta drafted Baylor catcher Shea Langeliers. Last season, he became just the 2nd player in school history to win a Gold Glove, allowing only 1 stolen base every 5 games. He had 57 hits both this year and last year, and racked up more than 40 RBIs in each season, as well at least 10 home runs in both his sophomore and junior year.
He's the type of catcher that you can have long-term, so it's a long-term investment. We think we can get him here quick to the big leagues. We think he's that type of player. We think he could at least play A ball, but we'll see what that turn takes. But at the end of the day, we think this guy could be on the fast track potentially.
Baylor was eliminated from the NCAA tournament after losing to UCLA, but in a game against Omaha, Langeliers had 5 hits, including 3 home runs and an NCAA tournament record 11 RBIs. Here he is.
To see that all the hard work you put in for a majority of your life is paying off, and to spend it with, everybody that you love and care about is there with you is just, it was a very special moment. It's pretty cool to hear that from him. Obviously for me, I'm still going to go in. I got to get better every day. Just the same attitude I've had, my whole baseball career. It's just take it one day at a time, get better. But to hear that from him was pretty special.
The Braves also drafted Texas A&M second baseman Braden Shoemake with the 21st overall pick. But the Braves were doing more than just drafting new guys. This week they signed 2015 Cy Young winner Dallas Keuchel. Keuchel spent his entire career in Houston, remained unsigned since the winter, and finally reached a 1-year deal with the Braves worth more than $13 million. The Braves reportedly outbid the Yankees, hard to do, and Keuchel made his first appearance yesterday in AAA Gwinnett. Back to the draft, it's a rare thing for Division II players to hear their name called. Case in point, CSU, a solid program in the D2 ranks, and yet there have only been 34 Cougars taken in the draft. Well, now they have 35. Senior pitcher Colton Ingram was taken on the last day in the 37th round by the Detroit Tigers, and that's Colton spelled with a K, which is very appropriate because his 315 career strikeouts are the most all-time at CSU. The Tigers also drafted Auburn ace Casey Mize with the 1st overall pick in last year's draft. Colton talked about joining Mize and how he's ready to prove the doubters wrong once again.
It's pretty amazing just to be right down the road from an Auburn baseball player. I used to watch him on TV all the time, and it's pretty special just to be even in the same conversation as Casey. You can't let a title define you. Division I, Division II, Division III. It really doesn't matter. JUCO, NAIA. Like you said, if you're good enough, they'll find you, and you just got to make your name for yourself.
You can find a full interview with Colton on our website, wrbl.com/sports. Another local player was also taken this week. For the second year in a row, Hunter Milam was taken in the draft, this time in the 17th round by the Phillies. Last year, the Russell County senior was taken in the 22nd round by the Angels, but did not sign. He chose instead to go to Gulf Coast State College, where he started 11 games, winning 6 of them, with a total of 62 strikeouts in 52 innings pitched. Let's get to some other local players drafted. We'll start with Auburn. Minnesota drafted shortstop Will Holland in the 5th round. The LA Angels called on pitcher Davis Daniel in the 7th round, In the 18th round, Edouard Julien was drafted by the Twins. Left-handed pitcher Jack Owen got the call from the St. Louis Cardinals in the 21st round. And the other lefty, Elliot Anderson, was the final Tiger drafted in the 23rd round by the Royals. As for Georgia, 8 Bulldogs were taken in the draft. Here are 4 of those names who went in the first 7 rounds. In the 2nd round, the Rockies snagged infielder Aaron Schunk. 1 round later, Columbus native and Golden Spike semifinalist Tony Losi went to the Cardinals. The other Bulldog ace, Tim Elliott, was taken in the 4th round by the Mariners. And in the 7th round, L.J. Talley was taken by the Toronto Blue Jays. Over to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, they had 4 players taken. First baseman Tristan English was the first guy taken from Tech, picked in the 3rd round by the Diamondbacks. Catcher Kyle McCann is headed to Oakland after going in the 4th round. The Cards took lefty Connor Thomas in the 5th round, and in the 7th round, right-handed pitcher Xavion Curry was taken by the Indians. And last but not least, 5 Crimson Tide players were all drafted. 5 of them pitchers. San Diego took Deacon Metters in the 20th round. In the 21st round, Davis Vayner was drafted by the Houston Astros. In the 22nd round, Morgan McCulloch was picked by the Angels. A few rounds later, St. Louis picked up Jeremy Randolph. And finally, we show some love to Brock Love, who was drafted by Miami in the 34th round. Okay, we're still serving in the last call. Up next, Rex Castillo sits down one-on-one with Isaiah Crowell. The Raiders running back shares his mission to give back to kids in Columbus and the latest on his recovery after tearing his ACL just a few weeks ago. The Columbus Lions are trying to bounce back after losing back-to-back games to Carolina. They're now 2-4 and looking down the barrel of 3 straight games on the road. First up is a game against their rival Jacksonville. The Lions have never won in Jacksonville. It did not look good early either. Columbus went down 21-0 and trailed 29-8 at the half. They did score coming out of halftime, but so did the Sharks on this QB keeper by Jonathan Bain, 36-15. The Lions have an answer. Luke Collis takes a 1-step drop and lofts it to a wide-open Bones Bagante to cut the Sharks' lead to 15. And as the clock expires in the 3rd, Collis and the Lions strike again, this time to DeAndre Brown. It's 36-27, one-score game. Both teams get a touchdown in the 4th. Jacksonville knocking on the door again, up by 8. And it's Zach Brown and his band of linemen who push ahead for the tutty as the Lions fall once again 49-41. They are now 2-5 this season. Staying with football, Oakland Raiders running back and Columbus native Isaiah Crowell returned home. The Carver grad hosted his 5th annual football camp on Saturday, which usually takes place at Memorial Stadium, but got moved to Complete Tire and Service on Victory Drive because of the rain. Crowell spoke to the campers, shared advice, along with autographs, cash, and plenty of pictures for the kids. And now we turn it over to Sports Director Rex Castillo, who sat down with Crowell earlier this week.
I'm now joined by the Isaiah Crowell, 6-year NFL vet. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Yeah, no problem.
Now, we know that you do that annual football camp, and it's a great event. Unfortunately, the weather has changed things up, so now you're doing a meet and greet, which, again, it's great that you come out to do these events. Why is it important for you to come back and, just give back to your hometown?
Really, I feel like it's very important just because, really, for me, nobody did that for me. So, a lot of the people that had went on to, the NFL or NBA and, just been successful. When I was a kid, I really didn't, get to experience a camp or anything that was free so that I can go and get the experience. So basically, I just do that for the kids and just basically trying to give back and try to give them motivation to let them see somebody that came from the same place as them that, and give them, inspiration that they can make it.
And you definitely have been that. Now, when you do these camps or these activities for the kids, their faces light up, obviously. But what does it do for you? What is it like to see them get excited like that?
Yeah, it just made me feel good about it because my mom always tell me it's good to be, loved by the kids and elderly people. So, it does a lot for me. I just feel good about it, just knowing I'm putting smiles on people's faces.
You played in some big-time markets, but how special is it every time you come home?
It's always special. I mean, it's home. It's always good to be at home. Feel homely and feel welcome. So, I mean, I'm just proud to be able to say I'm from Columbus and just be able to give back and just enjoy it and just give everybody something to be inspired by.
Now that you're here, I have to ask you about some high school football. You went to
Right.
Carver. Carver just had an amazing 9-1 season, a big turnaround. I believe your cousin plays on.
My nephew.
Your nephew.
Yeah,
That's
my
right.
nephew, yeah.
Johnny, of course, was like. So just overall, when you saw the year that they had after a bounce back here, what was it like for you to see the Tigers bounce back?
Yeah, I'm proud of them. I was kind of disappointed at one point when they took the downfall a little bit for whatever reasons, but I mean, I'm proud to see they're coming back along and getting back to the winning what I'm used to. Ever since I've known. But I'm proud of them, and I mean it's a good thing.
Of course, the NFL career. You again, so many years in the game, still have plenty of wheels to go. Unfortunately, the Achilles injury did sideline you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just rehabbing, just getting. Put my best foot forward to get back, to where I'm supposed to be.
And now you have the Raiders jersey on. How have you liked the organization, the fit, and when you signed with them, obviously Marshawn has been there, and they have a lot of great talent. John Gruden's a running back guy.
Right.
How excited were you to be part of that?
Very excited. I like the coaches, all my teammates. I just feel like it's a great place to be. Very comfortable there, and I'm just trying to make the best of it, every opportunity.
All right. Well, Columbus's own Isaiah Crowell, of course, will be rooting for you the entire way, man. Thanks for stopping by.
Appreciate that.
Up next, Isaiah leaves the studio and is replaced by myself and Jack Patterson. Our athletic careers never panned out like him, but we'll go head-to-head with Rex for the long-awaited return of Picks of the Week. Welcome back to Picks of the Week. It's been a while since I've said that, guys.
Right, it has been a long time.
We've been busy. I mean, the month of May, obviously, we had a lot of state championships. Yeah, pretty much April
and
too.
March.
Yeah, I mean, we're still even
It's been
with
a while.
Auburn baseball playing, we're still busy, but it's getting to that slow period. So we're back with Picks of the Week pretty much consistently for the summer. So get used to seeing them along with myself for this segment.
Cool
so
for the summer.
starting out, we're going to do the winner of the NBA Finals. Who do you think is going to take it?
I'm going to go with Raptors in 6.
Wow. Whoa. And why do you say that?
I'm going Raptors in 6 because I don't think, no, say that, not 6, 7.
Okay.
Because
Which one is it?
7. Raptors in 7.
All right.
I was thinking that Toronto didn't have home court.
Right.
But I like the way that Kawhi's been playing, and I think Siakam's going to play better than he did in Game 2. I really think that this is the team that can knock off the Dynasty, plus the Warriors are extremely banged up. It will take an extraordinary performance by all the remaining players to just keep up.
I think, yeah, the Warriors are banged up. Nooney out for the entire thing. KD, Clay questionable. I still think the Warriors are too good, too deep to lose to the Raptors. So I've got the Warriors in 7. Rex, what do you think?
I have to go with the Warriors too. I'm going to go with 7. I want a long series. And look, it's a KD at 80% or Clay at 70% is still better than 95% of the league. That 5%, including Kawhi Leonard. I mean, it's one of those things. It's too good, too deep, and. Yeah, Warriors again. They also knocked off my Rockets without KD, so
I'm surprised you picked them.
I just got to swallow the truth at this point.
Superhero turn, we're going to golf. The U.S. Open is coming up. Rex, we'll go back to you.
I really want to see Tiger win this one. I think it's just because we saw Tiger win the Masters and how great that was for golf as a sport. And I think he has a lot of momentum. He's finding how to play at a slower pace at his age because he's not 27-year-old Tiger where he can bang anything away. So I'm rooting for Tiger.
So speaking of younger, that's the reason I'm taking Brooks Koepka. The guy's won 4 majors in about 14, 15 months. I don't know how you pick against him at this point. He just hits it further and is just better than the entire field. So I take him against the field.
And I'm with you. I'm taking Brooks Koepka. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. In my heart, I want Tiger to win. But probably just not only the good bet and probably for the best thing for the state of golf, gotta get another star. Brooks Koepka is going to be that star.
And we end with personal picks. Very quickly, I'm going to take the Reds Indians. They're playing in Cleveland. I got the Ohio split. One game. They only playing 2. Jack?
All right. We're going north of the border.
All right.
CFL opens up is a rematch of the Grey Cup. I am taking the Calgary Stampeders over the Ottawa Red Blacks.
And Johnny Manziel doesn't play for either one.
No, no, he does not.
Right.
I'm also going north of the border. I just really miss football, so I'm going Edmonton Eskimos over Montreal. It's weird, awesome football, but it's also football until the NFL season and high school football come back.
And this also stemmed from a conversation we had when you were off this week.
Fair enough. All right. That'll do it for Picks of the Week. We'll be right back after this. All right, we end our show with video from halfway across the world. Carver's own Olivia Cochran led her 3-on-3 team to a national championship in Colorado in April, securing her a spot on Team USA's under-18 team. The World Cup took place in Mongolia this past week, and Team USA came out with the gold. Cochran and her team beat New Zealand 19-13 on Friday, capping off a perfect 7-0 run. So if you're keeping track, Olivia Cochran has won a state championship, a 3-on-3 national championship, and now a world championship, and she still has another season left as a senior at Carver. All right, that'll do it for the last call. Thanks for watching. We're on every Sunday night at 11:30. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at WRVL Sports. The James Brown Show is next. See you next Sunday.